Blank space on the paper sheet in a typewriter. Alan kept staring at the blank sheet, as if hoping it could fill itself with words alone. But then he got hungry and decided to look in his refrigerator, and he found a corpse there. The corpse did look yummy, though. However, he did not know if it was due to the hallucinations due to the cannabis he had smoked, or if it was really happening. But the severed head in the fridge was winking at him. Alan got scared and started insulting the severed head, who then spoke out a long curse that would turn him into a unicorn. He looked in the mirror and liked what he saw. The rainbow hair made his eyes look good. Alan decided that his name no longer suited him in his new fantastic form, and decided to change it to Rainbow Princess of Bright Stars. Rainbow Princess of Bright Stars was happy, but felt like something was missing. Perhaps the urge for cannabis, or maybe the urge to kill, was getting stronger and he couldn't handle that. Or maybe he just needed a friend. That's when he met a fish while drinking in a gay bar. The fish's name was Whoopizer. The fish and unicorn talked and talked, having more in common than you might think. They both loved scuba diving and the antiseptic nitroglycerin ointment, but they both loved even doing the samba and playing Russian roulette. So they danced all night until they couldn't breathe. Then they decided to go for a round of Russian roulette. Fortunately, they had forgotten to charge the gun, so they both survived. For now. Feeling the joy of surviving, they hugged each other, even though it was hard to do so. Then Krupizer remembered that he needed water to live because he was a fish, so he died. Then the unicorn cried its rainbow tears until he woke up as a very high man again with a huge headache. But Dumbledore was there too, and he was drinking magic tea. Dumbledore decided he was bored of life at Hogwarts, so he moved to Honolulu with Merlin. There they opened a surf shop. They invited Gandalf, who only liked to do ballet, so it became a ballet/surf shop. For the music part, they called a distant descendant of Beethoven, also deaf, but not quite as talented as his ancestor, unfortunately, named Ludwig van Beethoven. But he only knew how to play the bongo drums. But Beethoven knew one hopping cool alley cat who knew all about jazz to help. The hopping cool alley cat was named Romeo, and he could really play his electric bass, which he called Baby, and loved like it was a woman. He was strange. In the shadows, Juliet, a feline from a rock family, watched Romeo as he played. She admired his way of handling the bass, but their clans were enemies, and they had music wars all the time. The local clubs were getting mad support from them. She wanted so much to try his bass that she stole it during one of the wars, even more since the famous talent scout Vercingetorige was coming to the city, and both clans wanted to make sure they were chosen for the important 1 in 1,000 makes-it competition. That they ransacked a stranger's cabin in search of stage costumes because they couldn't buy any, but an angry fairy came out and poked their eyes, taking their eyes away for her personal collection of eyes. "I'm blind! OMG, I'm blind!" and started to feel around, many times catching certain body parts, thinking it was something else. They pulled on what they thought was an arm, but it was a dragon penis. The dragon, surprised by this, blew fire into the air and began to beat its wings against the ground, and blew all of the band out the door, falling on top of each other with the privates landing in everyone's mouths. "Now that's what I call a blowjob," the dragon said. They all decided they should have baked ziti, so they were going to the restaurant when suddenly at the restaurant, Antonio, the greatest Italian chef who lived in that unknown land, welcomed them. But he was actually a bricklayer. He had lost both his arms in an accident, so he had mechanical arms, and his mechanical arms were so precise on making things, it was better than when he had his arms. But due to a robotic revolt, his arms did not work always very well, and sometimes they tried to strangle him. So he had been trying to find a voodoo priest that could do something, but they all lived too far away, until one wandered in, but he got his degree offline. He then started singing all about that bass, which only made the arms want to dance. He no longer had free will. He was a slave to his mechanical robot arms. They liked to jerk on body parts. Antonio the chef had a pet koala named Bruce, who liked to eat popsicles. Bruce could see the future and had an imaginary friend. His imaginary friend was a shark named Jerry. Jerry also liked popsicles. And they sang Baby Shark do-do-do-do-do-do. It was their favorite song. And they spent many hours singing together and eating popsicles, so they threw up. Antonio was concerned for his pet koala, so he brought him to the post office and sent him to Greenland, because he thought it would be green and green is good. The mailman was actually a large lizard. The lizard had a tragic backstory. All his friends told him he couldn't be a mailman because he was a lizard, but he proved them wrong. He also was sad when Geico turned him down for the commercial. His only friend was a frog who couldn't speak. The frog could only eat mashed potatoes and Xanax, and it drank too much Pepsi, but not Coke. He could not stand Coke. Yes, only Pepsi and Dr. Pepper. He mixed them together and called it Dr. Pepsi. Little did he know, this was actually the cure for foot cancer. So people started stepping on him. He could not speak, though, so no one knew he had solved foot cancer. How tragic. But they had a friend, a turtle, who helped spread the word, slow and steady. The turtle was actually a god. His disciples called him Turtle-sama. He was a snapping turtle from the moon, and was actually the queen of the moon. His name was Skara. Skara proceeded to eat the moon, the earth, and the entire galaxy. Then she exploded. The end.